Enforcement in Memphis, Tennessee is getting some extra support today as National Guard troops have started deploying in that city. They will join local and state police and more than a dozen federal agencies as part of President Trump's nationwide crime crackdown. Meantime, anti-ICE protesters clashed with police again at an ICE processing facility near Chicago. This morning, Illinois State Police arrested a handful of protesters who tried to block the road going to and from that facility. Fox's Asher Red is in Chicago this evening. Asher, those protests are expected to grow over the weekend, we understand?
Well, Tom, protesters started lining the street leading to that facility very early this morning, but state police in riot gear arrested 4 people who climbed over a concrete barrier to block that road. These protests are continuing as the DOJ appeals yesterday's ruling that temporarily blocks the National Guard from protecting the facility. Judge April Perry, a Biden appointee, ruled that the troop deployment violates the Fourth Amendment, which protects people from unreasonable searches and seizures. She also ruled that it violates the 10th Amendment, which gives states the right to govern themselves. The judge says this case really came down to credibility and that the administration's portrayal of what's happening here doesn't line up with reality. She pointed out that this week alone, federal prosecutors dropped charges against 4 of the 5 protesters accused of resisting arrest or assaulting officers at this facility. Despite that ruling, however, Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino says the federal immigration crackdown here in Chicago will not slow down.
We've been up against temporary restraining orders back in Los Angeles, as you know, and we fully expect that here. The mission's going to continue no matter what.
2 weeks ago, federal agents built a fence over a public road in front of the facility after protesters were blocking federal agents from getting in and out. Last night, a different federal judge ordered that fence must come down today, saying it violates city ordinances and creates a safety hazard. But as we speak, that fence is still there. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says the Trump administration's immigration crackdown is all just for show.
They're coming to downtown Chicago, Michigan Avenue. What is the purpose of that? It's all a show. So we're going to push back at every turn, as we have.
And the Trump administration deployed 200 Texas National Guard troops to the Chicago area on Tuesday. Those troops are now on standby. In Chicago, Asher Red, Fox 26 News.